Hi, welcome to my video. My name is Val. This channel essentially is just a channel focused on hacking life. So anything from finances to home to holidays, I have a hack. I thought I'd just make a really quick video because I know coronavirus has come and impacted all of our lives. So I thought it might be helpful to just give a quick summary of financial help that's out there. You might be able to spot something where you can get a bit more money. Just to make it clear, I'm in no way giving anybody financial advice. This is not financial advice at all. It is just letting you know what's out there. It is in no means, shape or form financial advice. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you do, and let's get straight in. The first one I'm going to cover is the furlough scheme. That's the scheme in which the government will pay you 80% of your salary up to £2,500. So a lot of people hear furlough and think it's a bad thing, but really it's not. If you have kids, if you're just struggling in this time and you don't want to be thinking about work, then the furlough scheme is actually not a bad thing. It should be running until October earliest, so your employer can ask you to be furloughed. They also can top up the amount so that it's 100% of your salary. If you have been furloughed and your company have not done that, you can ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. I would just ask. When you are on furlough, you cannot do any work whatsoever for your employer. However, you can work for a different employer. Check your employment contract. If there's nothing in your employment contract that says you can't work anywhere else whilst you work at your current job, then you can go and get another job. You do still need to pay tax and national insurance and everything else that you would have paid. One other thing about the furlough scheme is if you left your job before all of this COVID-19 stuff started happening, you can actually contact your old employer and ask to be furloughed. Essentially, they'll be rehiring you and you will at least get 80% of what you used to earn. If you left on good terms, I think it can't hurt to ask. If you were on that company's payroll by the 19th of March 2020, they will be able to rehire you and furlough you. Bear in mind that they do not have to, but hopefully, like I said, if you left on good terms, it can't hurt to try. You can refer to the HMRC guidance on this. So if you haven't been furloughed, you're still an employee and you now have to work from home because of the circumstances, you are entitled to some tax relief. Not that much, I must say. It's not gonna, break the bank with savings, but it is a little relief. There are two ways that you can go about doing this. First way, you can ask your employer to pay you £6 a week extra, or, and this is the way I would recommend, just so your employer doesn't end up hating you, you can apply directly to HMRC. And when you apply to HMRC, it's not money paid directly to you, but it will be a tax relief. If you're a basic rate taxpayer, 20% of £6 is £1.20, so you'll get a relief of £1.20 a week. And if you're a higher rate taxpayer, it's £2.40 a week. Which obviously, like I said, these aren't huge figures that are breaking the bank, but it's something. In a month, that's what, a tenner, £120 of relief, of tax relief in the year. If we're working from home for a whole year, which is possible. We don't know how this is going to go. So depending on how long you're working for and how long you're required to work from home for, you can get tax relief on £6 a week for as long as you're required to be home. If you type into Google HMRC work from home tax relief, I believe it should come up. Let me just double check that. I just did it. It came up. You just want the HMRC official government link. I can drop it in the bottom as well. Every little counts, to be honest. So if you're self-employed, there is some help available. The government have set up a self-employed income support scheme, which is capped at £2,500 a month. It will be based on 80% of your profits in the last 3 years. The great thing about the grant is it's a grant. You don't have to pay it back. So this is just essentially free money. You would have had to do your FY19 tax return, so your tax return for 2018, 2019. So there is some other eligibility criteria that you'd need to double check, but your average income has to be less than £50,000 from that business. But if you made more, they'll go back the last 2 years just to make sure that the average is less than 50k. Also, you must earn more than 50% of your total income from self-employment. If you are eligible, HMRC should have contacted you by now, but if you haven't been contacted and you've never heard about it, you can contact them. HMRC have an online tool that you can use to check if you're eligible, if you think you are but you still haven't been contacted. At the time I'm making this video, you should have been contacted by now. Have a look online, just give it a quick search and check. The SEISS, Self-Employment Income Support Scheme. So if you find that you're not eligible for the grant, the government have introduced a Bounceback loan. I've just got to put it out there, I personally don't like loans and I wouldn't do it if I didn't absolutely need to. But if you absolutely need to, then it is a very good loan as far as loans go. It's interest free in the first year, so you won't pay any interest whatsoever for a year. And then after that, it's got a very low interest rate of 2.5%. It is a very good rate, especially in the first year. But obviously, if you don't need the loan, don't take it out just for the sake of it. There are some eligibility criteria that you'll have to meet. You'll be able to borrow between £2,000 and £50,000 and they'll last up to 6 years. 0% in the first year, 2.5% for the remaining 5 years. Your business must have been established before the 1st of March 2020. If you have a business and you think you'd benefit from a Bounceback loan, definitely check it out, give it a quick Google search. Like I said, if you absolutely do not need it, don't take it out, but if you do think you need it, then it's there to help. Also, from my understanding, if you have a loan out and you meet the criteria, you can transfer it to be a Bounceback loan. So look into that as well. If you've had to take out a loan because of the circumstances, check if you can transfer it to a Bounceback loan. You will definitely be paying less interest with 0% for the first year and most likely less interest in the remaining 5 years as well. Finally, one other thing that might help you is you can defer your tax payments. If you have any tax payments that are due in July 2020, you can defer this to Jan 2021. Right, bills. I love saving money on bills. So I have actually not been driving much, so I've sworn my car off the road. My insurance is over £1,000, so I'm just like, I'm not in a rush to pay this annual insurance. And I know I'm not going anywhere this week or next week. So I just saw my car off the road for a couple of weeks. With car insurance, it goes up and down based on your mileage. If you, like me, are barely driving anywhere these days, your mileage estimation for the year will have drastically decreased, and it's probably going to be a lot less for next year as well. So be sure to ring your insurers and tell them that and see if you can get some money off. I know that some insurance companies are giving money back. I think if you're an Admiral or any of the Admiral group, that's Bell, Diamond, Elephant, I think they're giving a standard amount back. They're giving you like £25. And I know these amounts are small, but like I said, every little helps. I'm sure everyone's heard of these payment holidays that you can get now. You can get them on a range of things. If you have a car finance, you can get payment holiday. If you have a mortgage, you can get payment holiday. If you have any loans out, any cards out, you can get 3-month holiday. I say this, but you will have to pay for it later. So it's not just a 3-month holiday and you just never have to pay it. You do still have to pay it back. But if you need the break at this moment in time, then it is worth looking into. But please bear in mind that the rest of your payments will be hiked up in order to compensate for the 3-month break that you took. And if you take a 3-month break on everything now at the same time, when it comes to it, you might end up paying quite a lot. So if you don't need to take your holiday payment, then don't do it. But if you do need to, then you can. So this isn't really COVID related, but if you're in a contract, let's say broadband contract, and they've increased the price or changed the terms in any way, you can leave that contract without having to pay any additional costs. So just bear that in mind. If you're unhappy in a contract and they do something which changes the terms of the contract, you can leave for free. I know Sky upped their prices a while back, and I took that as an opportunity to leave. Although I kind of regret it and I will be going back, but I saved a lot by leaving, so bear that in mind. So if you're struggling with your council tax, you can also apply for a council tax holiday. You'll have to speak to your local council, but they might be able to help you out with that. Most types of bills are offering a payment holiday. Just call up anyone that takes money from you on a regular basis and see if they can take it later. If you're struggling and you need money, you can apply for the universal credit. It's not difficult to do. The government is encouraging people to get aid through universal credit. It is essentially there to help people with their living costs. So if you need help with the living costs, apply. It will be paid monthly like a salary. So the amount of universal credit that you'll get does depend on your situation and your circumstances. If you're single and you're under 25, your monthly allowance will be £342.72. If you're single and you're 25 or over, your monthly allowance will be £409.89. If you're in a couple and you're both under 25, £488.59 for the both of you. If you're in a couple and you're both over 25, £594.04. There are some additional amounts that you'll get if you fit certain criteria. If you have any disabled children, if you have a disability or a health condition, if you are a carer for a severely disabled person, you are eligible if you are on a low income or if you're out of work completely. You have to be over 18, although if you're in Scotland or Wales, I believe it's 17. But I do think there are some exceptions if you're 16 or 17, so double check. And you have to have less than £16,000 in savings. If all of those are you, then go for it. I think it's usually about a month that they'll get out to you, but if you need it way sooner than that, then you can just apply for a cash advance and you'll hear back, I think, in a couple of days. There are still some 0% credit cards. And so if you know that you have a big purchase that cannot be avoided, that you still have to make, that's something to look into if you think it could benefit you. Because let's just say that you have to pay a bulk sum and you just don't want to hand it all over right now. Look into a 0% credit card. I think they have them from 12 to 24 months, some even longer, and you can just spread those payments and pay 0 interest on it. So like I said, I hate interest. I'm not a fan. I don't mind a loan if it's 0%, but anything higher than 0%, I don't want to give anybody any extra money. I think that's why I pay my car insurance annually, because the difference, guys, if you look at the difference between paying off annually and paying in installments, they take quite a few extra hundred, so something to think about. What I would do, in fact what I have done, is I have gone through my list of direct debits. I have a note in my phone where I just list out everything that I pay for and how much it is, and anything that you are just not doing anymore. So if you're not going to the gym anymore, going to cinema anymore, driving your car anymore, which you're probably doing a lot less, whatever you're not doing anymore but still paying for, call them up. Either you can have a break, you can cancel, or you can get your money back. Also, just see where you can save from your normal bills. So for your entertainment, if you live in a house with other people, I don't know, you might have roommates, just check that if everyone is paying their own subscriptions, you're all just chucking money down the drain. So it's just best to, even if you don't talk or like each other, who won't say no to a bit of saving? With Spotify, you can have up to 6 members on a family plan. With Netflix, split it 4 ways, £3 a pop. I hope that was helpful, and I hope you found out new information. Please just give me a shout and I'll be happy to help. Nothing in this was financial advice. If it sounded like it, it wasn't. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs up anyway. I'll see you on the next video.